and welcome to another piano lesson with Warren. I trust you're all having a wonderful week. In today's tutorial, I want to talk about transposition and modulation, two very important topics. Some people sort of get them mixed up and use them interchangeably at times, but they're a little bit different in what it really means to transpose something and what it means to modulate, and they're also similar in some context. So transposition simply means moving a song from one key to another key. It could be lower, it could be higher, it could be by a half step, it could be by a whole step. In general, when we talk about we transpose a song to this key or to that key, we're referring to the entire song and not just a snippet of it. When we're already playing in one key and then we move to another key within the same song, we call that modulations. And so I want to show you some little tips and tricks how to modulate. So this should go without saying, you have to know your keys. Major key, minor key, all 12 keys, you have to know them, because when you're transposing to another key, we do it using the degrees of the scale. And so if there are some keys that you're not so keen on playing on, then transposing to that key is going to be a little tricky. I must also put this as a side note that if you have a keyboard that has a transpose button, ignore it. Do not touch that button. It's a slippery slope. If you're a beginner and you only can play in, say, two keys, you can play only C and F, and you want to be able to transpose a song to, say, F sharp, and you're like, I can play an F, but I can't play an F sharp. I'm just going to use that transpose button. That's a slippery slope right there. I've seen a lot of players who got into just using transpose button. 10 years passed and they're still using the transpose button. They still can't play in all 12 keys. And so just ignore the transpose key if you have it on your keyboard and take your time and learn to play in all keys. If you only know 2 songs, start practicing to transpose those 2 songs in all the keys slowly. Obviously, you'd want to start with the easier songs. So that's the first thing. Another thing, when we're transposing, you want to think of the song in terms of intervals and scale degree, the relationship of the chord or the note within the given key. Transposition, if I want to take, say, the song To God Be the Glory, to God be the glory, to God be the glory, to God be the glory for the things He. Say you want to take this chorus of the song and transpose it to, say, B, which is a half step. How does one begin to start to figure that out? My melody starts on the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then jumps to the 1. To God, down to the 7. Back up, the glory, 7. Then 6. And so I'm using the scale degrees. 5, 1, 7, 1, 7, 6, 6, 2, 1, 2, 1, 7, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1. And so by using the scale degrees like that, you can easily transpose. So if I go to the key of B now, I do the same thing. 5, 1, 7, 1, 7, 6, 6, 2, 1, 2, 1, 7, 7, 3. And you can just even write it out like that using numbers. That's how you can easily transpose the melody to any key, by just using the scale degrees of the particular key you're in. You don't want to get too attached to the letter names of the keys. So you don't want to get used to, oh, B, A sharp, B, A sharp, G sharp, G sharp, because then when you change keys, like, So you use the key relationships, and that will definitely help you to be able to transpose faster. You do the same thing with chords. So, I'm in the key of B flat. I start on a B flat chord, D minor, G7, C minor, and this is a sort of a F sus, F7, G minor 7, or G minor 9, 11, C7. And now translate that into the chord relationship in the key. So 1, 3, 6, 2, 5, 3, 6, 2, 5, back to 1. And so once you get that basic sort of skeleton outline of what chords being used in the song, then you can go in more details now and look at the quality of the chord. Is it a major? Is it a minor? Is it the 7th? Is it the 9th? Here, B flat, we just added 9th. Then we go to 3 minor, the 3 minor 7, the 6, but it's a major and it's a dominant 7th chord. Then 2 minor, 5 sus, 5 7, 3 sus, so 3 7, the 6th minor 7, the 2, but this time it's a dominant 7. And you go through that, and then once you go to a new key, you think of the same thing. 1, add 9, 3 7, 6 dominant 7th, 2 minor 7th, 5 sus, 5 7, 3 sus, 3 dominant 7, 6 minor, 2 dominant 7. And you go through and you list the quality of the chord, and that's how you can transpose a song into a new key entirely. If you're doing this for the first time, I'd recommend writing it out so you can really follow along. Write out the chords first in its original key, like that, using just the scale degrees. So don't use letter names. Don't do B flat, a D minor, G minor. Use the scale degree. Just say 1, 3 minor 7, 6 minor 7, and so on. And then when you go to the new key now that you want to transpose to, you can use letters so you can see them clearer. You can say, okay, now I'm in the key of B. It's a B7 or B9, B at 9, D sharp minor, G sharp 7, C sharp minor 7, F sharp sus, F sharp 7, D sharp sus, D sharp 7, G sharp minor, C sharp 7. And you do it like that. And so that's basically what transposition is about. Modulation is a similar concept. It's just that modulation usually occur in a song where we start in one key and then we can modulate later on, opposed to when we talk about a transposition, we're usually talking about the entire song lifted to another key. You can also transpose a song down. Like, for example, if I'm in B flat accompanying a singer and they say, it's too high, can you go to A flat? You do the same thing. The singer said, it's still too high, take it down a half step. G. And so that's usually the difference between transposition and modulation. When you're transposing a song, try to make sure that you keep the voicings of the chord the same. So if you notice, when I was moving through key playing To God Be the Glory, it sounded the same way. My chords sound the same way. And that's one of the important things about transposition is you want it to sound the same way. You want to try to use the same voicing so it doesn't sound different. You know, if I'm in the key of C, my voicings are the same. Doesn't matter where you are. Voicings. I'm going to go back to the key of B flat. Singing the song, to God be the glory, to God be the glory, to God be the glory for the things He has done. And the singer says, going on. To God be the glory. So I just went from B flat to C. Singers often do that. And again, how I got there, by using the 5/7 of the chord of the key that I'm going to. So I'm in the key of C, I mean B flat, sorry. And your singer will hear that clear key change. You're in the key of B flat. If you want to go to C, use the 5 of C, which in this case, G7. Sometimes I do little stuff like this. When I play that 5/7, I'll do some walk up. And so the singer can hear that bass line clearly walking up to the new key, which helps them to find their notes. If I was in the key of B flat again, and I want to go up a half step, you know, to God be the glory for the things He has done. And the singer, no, that's a key change. To God be the glory. And the chord I played there, we call it sometimes a 4/5, displaying an E with F sharp bass. You know, this chord can also be acted as like a suspension. You can always play it sometime like that. Yeah. So here you go again from God be the glory for the things He has done. Then again, that little walk up. Just let me live, you know. Do that again, play that verse. Just let me live. Let it be pleasing, Lord, to thee. And if I gain that was a cool chord right there. What did I do there? Just let me live my life. Let it be pleasing, Lord, to thee. Some tritone substitution. Okay, I'm getting off track. So that's what I want to talk with you guys about today, about transposition and modulation. You know, you could go practice some stuff along that line, messing around with taking a simple song that you know and just try to move it from one key to another. Things you want to bear in mind, you want to think in terms of scale degrees, the 1, the 7, the 5, the 3, the 4. And then when you transpose to the new key, try to think of it in that way. Second thing is to try to keep the voicings of the chord. And voicings is just how you play it in the previous key. Try to keep the same voicing in the other key so the song doesn't sound strange. Yeah, so that's what I have for you guys today, short tutorial. Thank you again for watching. My name is Warren McPherson. You can always check me out at pianolessonwithwarren.com. Over there, I got some pretty cool tutorials on blues, on the beginner's guide to the piano, where I go through all sort of the beginning topics of piano playing. These are the core things you want to use to lay your foundation. That's the beginner's guide to piano playing. And then you got the blues, where if you're a little bit more intermediate and you want to get into some blues licks and blues passing chords and walking bass, and just to know a little bit more about the blues, I have that also. Be sure to follow me on Facebook at Piano Lesson with Warren. Go over there and give me a thumbs up. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I recently joined Instagram, checking that out. It's pretty cool. I need to do some more posting on that too. Other than that, keep watching, keep practicing, keep listening, and keep singing, because this is how we improve as a musician. Catch you on the next tutorial when, I don't know, I'll talk about something different. Until then, see you soon and have a good one.